Hello, hello, hello. My name is Dr. Liz Wangare Geshimu, a clinical psychologist based in Kenya. Thank you so much for tuning into this channel, Mogekuyo by Ancestry, Understanding Mental Health. So, today's topic, I chose to talk about something that I have noted, especially when I'm doing my clinical work. When clients come, most of the times clients come because they're in some crisis, one crisis or the other. And what I've noted is that for the most part, whenever they're beginning to talk about their issues, it's sort of like they're apologizing. But this is my fault, or it's sort of like they're doubting themselves. They're not sure about themselves. Yes, you're in distress. Yes, something definitely is not right. However, it's like they're minimizing or downplaying the pain that they feel. And also something else I've noted is if especially they're angry, they tend to try and minimize that. Mostly this I find with my female clients. It's as if they have internalized that anger is not something that they should express, or it's not an emotion that they should have. And so this is part of the reason why I felt it's important to have this conversation on what we call spiritual bypassing. So what is it? What is spiritual bypassing? I'll read for you a definition from the person who coined the term. This is a person. He's called John Wellwood, a psychologist, a psychotherapist. But apart from being a therapist, he was also a Buddhist monk. And so he's the one who came up or coined that term, spiritual bypassing. And what did he mean? What he meant by spiritual bypassing is a tendency to use spiritual ideas and practices, to sidestep or avoid facing unresolved emotional issues, psychological wounds, and unfinished developmental tasks. I'll repeat that. Spiritual bypassing is a tendency to use spiritual ideas and practices to sidestep or avoid facing unresolved emotional issues, psychological wounds, and unfinished developmental tasks. Now, I'll just highlight some of them. What are some of the signs that you are spiritually bypassing? One is avoiding feelings of anger. Another one is believing in your own spiritual superiority as a way to hide from insecurities. Believing in your own spiritual superiority as a way to hide from insecurities. Another sign is believing that traumatic events must serve as learning experiences, or that there is a silver lining behind every negative experience. Another sign is believing that spiritual practices such as meditation or prayer are always positive. Another sign is extremely high, often unattainable idealism. Then we have feelings of detachment. Another one is focusing only on spirituality and ignoring the present. And finally, only focusing on the positive or being overly optimistic. Now, as I have read through some of those signs of spiritual bypassing? Is there any that you can identify as something that you have been doing? Most of us, and it's something I've seen even here in Kenya, is we tend to generally want to look at the positive side of life. And even growing up, what is usually emphasized is, do this and this, something positive will happen. Okay? And if something tends or something doesn't go your way, the tendency is always to, say, or to point at, you didn't do this, that's why, or it's something, just because things didn't work out, it's because it's your fault, or it's something that you didn't do. Okay, and since majority of the people of the population are Christians, sometimes you find that it tends to be put that as long as you're a Christian, bad things are not supposed to happen to you. You're not supposed to, even if you find challenges, you're not supposed to feel bad and sad, and feel down because of it, right? And as long as you are alive, as long as you're living, you will face situations that will break your heart so badly. You will go through situations that you will somehow even feel you don't even have the capacity to resolve this. Does that really speak to your failing as a person? Does that really speak, to you not having enough faith, to you not being spiritual enough? No, it doesn't. And is spirituality just about being positive all the time? No. Life has duality. A lot of things about life comes in duality. Good, bad, right? Positive, negative, right? We know happiness because we know what sadness looks like. We know joy because we know what being low looks like, right? These things exist together. One does not sidestep the other, but the tendency has always been, to focus on the positives. And as a result, very few of us come equipped to know what to do when we are faced with challenges, when we are faced with difficult situations, when negative emotions arise in us. Very few of us have been taught or have been made to realize that that is normal. That is normal. Nothing is wrong with feeling negative emotions. Everything that you experience, everything that you feel, everything that comes up serves a purpose. It's sending you a message. And if you choose to gloss over that, or to say it came so that I can learn from it, and ignore that indeed it's heavy, it's challenging, it's difficult, if you just gloss over it, then you will not get, to understand or to feel what is the message here, right? What is it telling me, right? Is it just telling me that, life sometimes you can lack an understanding, or you can, not know what to do, and that's part of it. And sometimes you might just need to let people hold you. And one of the challenges of not knowing how to be or to sit with painful emotions, painful situation, is that you will not be able to be there for somebody who is going through a difficulty. You will always want to fix them. And we know that there are things about life, there are situations about life that can't be fixed. However, if you don't learn that not everything needs a solution, right? You don't need to bypass painful emotions. If you don't learn to do that, then you're denying yourself, or you're denying your humanity. You're denying an aspect of what makes you you. And being human means that you will have good times and you will have bad times. You will have joyful times and you will have sad times. One does not cancel out the other. You don't need to focus on positivity only so that you can downplay the negative aspect, because it's part of the human experience. So I hope that in this discussion, you will examine yourself and find out, am I uncomfortable? Or do I know how to sit with painful emotions? Do I know how to sit with discomfort? Do I know how to be still when I don't know what to do? Do I know how to be when everything around me just doesn't seem to make sense, doesn't seem to work out? Do I know how to sit with that? And if not, who taught me that it's wrong to feel that way? Where did I pick that from? And is that correct? Because if it's wrong, then why are you experiencing that? Why are you going through that? Why are you going through the emotions? Why are you going through the negative aspects? Right? Because they're part of the human experience. They're part of the human experience, and nothing is wrong with that. Nothing is wrong with that. So, let us allow ourselves to be fully human. And being fully human means creating room and space for both the positive and the negative experiences. Thank you so much for listening.